So I'm going to show you some essentials that will be a good idea to have on your bike while on your bike ride, whether you're a road biker or you're touring, mountain biker, doesn't matter. So essentials are good to have. You definitely want to have a spare tube, even if you're running tubeless. You can have some really bad luck. It's not a bad idea to carry a spare tube. Just make sure you get the correct size for your bike. It's going to come in a box. You can take it out. You can wrap it up. It's usually come pretty small. You can put these in your pack. So an inner tube is a good idea. That's going to be the most quickest, and then of course you're going to need something to air it up with. So either you're carrying a really small pump, this is probably road biker style, total minimalist, super small, but keep in mind you're going to be pumping like a madman and probably take you quite a while. So this is one method. So the longer you go, the easier time or quicker time you'll have airing that up. And if you go road specific tube rather than a mountain bike specific pump, that's going to help as well because the rate changes. So pump right there, or we go with simply a CO2 cartridge. So they come in different size tubes here. Same thing if you're using probably a CO2 little BB gun. This is a 16 gram. This one right here, I put some duct tape around it because I was carrying this along with a pump or a tool, and it kept the rattling and banging around noise down quite a bit. And then this is the head right here. The heads come in different flavors, sizes, or brands. So this one I put a little bit of Loctite on there on the threads, and then I tighten this up just partial so it wouldn't vibrate loose. That way with these, when you're ready to activate them, you have to tighten them up 100%, then it will puncture the tube and then you can use it. So I didn't want to puncture it quite yet. I'm just having it ready to go, and the Loctite will keep this in place so the threads won't come loose and I lose the head separate from this when I put it back in my pack or something like that. Get the appropriate size for whatever you're using, road bike style or mountain bike style. So that's a good thing right there. And of course the next thing or is essential is our tire levers. These are Pedros. I like these because they're thick, they're wide, less tendency to want to snap on you. They sell these in a 2-pack, so you can get 2 put together just like that. Doesn't matter what you get there, but you're going to find out what works best for you by trial and error type of thing. So minimum 2. If you know your tire and it comes off and on really easily, then maybe you can get away with 1. So know your tire and wheel setup first before you actually go with 1. But for beginners, I'm going to say go ahead and go with 3. That's going to be best. So you're going to use all 3 of these when you have a really tight fitting tire. You stick all 3 of them in at the same time, then you push them all 3 at the same time, and it will release that tire bead. So tire levers, essential. Then we have our Multitools. These come in a variety of shapes and sizes, bells and whistles, kind of like a Swiss Army knife. You can get it with a minimal of like 3 parts, 4 parts, or you can get it with 16, 20 separate little tools. But this is a Crank Brothers. They're calling this an M19. It comes in different colors. This is a no nonsense. It's got good weight to it. I'm not fearful that anything's going to break or bend on me. It's also, I can get to it fairly easy when I have my gloves on. So whether I'm mountain biking, I have full fingers, it's going to be easier to, that's one of the tests that I give it. And if I'm road biking, I'm usually got the fingers cut off, so it's a little easier to access, but it does have a chain brake. Chain brake is essential. It's one of those things you may not need all the time. It's like having a spare tire on your car. You may go years without having it use a spare tire, but the moment you need it, you're going to be glad you have it. So this is what this chain brake is. And the reason you would need this is because possibly you broke the chain, it came apart, or you had a really bad shift. That's usually most of the cases, and we bend the chain links. So when you have a bent chain link, it's not going to rotate through the derailleurs properly. So we may have to disconnect the chain if it's not already snapped and broken, and we're going to take out the bent portions of the chain links, and then we're going to reassemble it. So definitely you're going to need a chain brake no matter what for disassembly to remove the bent chain links. You have quick links that can reconnect the chain. And you don't need a chain tool for that, but definitely for disconnecting and removing old broken chain parts, you will need a chain brake. And it gives you all your essentials of your 5, 6, 7, 8 millimeters, even smaller than that. And the newer style Multitools come with even Torx. So I believe I have like a 10 mil Torx and probably a 25. Torx are good for the people who have rotors. You got the Torx on the rotors. You also have Torx on some of the bolts for the shifters for SRAM. SRAM got cute and threw in the Torx for in there to mix it up with the Allen tools. So doesn't matter what you get or what brand you get, but definitely throw in a chain brake. And just make sure you can operate it pretty easy, and it's not going to hurt your hand when you go to turn those really hard bolts. Another great backup is having a patch kit. So if you're having a really bad day, you brought one tube, you had to go through one tube already, now you get another flat, now you have a patch kit to go to. Small, convenient. This style has actually glue style in it. So we're going to glue and we're doing patches. So something like that, a patch, and then it gives you a piece of sandpaper. So whether you're going glue or glueless, the glueless is basically a sticker. You're still having a patch, you're still having sandpaper. Sandpaper is to scuff the area, to clean it up. So the glue or the patch has really good adhesion when you're ready to slap it on. So this is your backup to your tube. When you first use your tube, you're going to be using your air, and you're going to use your tire levers to remove your tire, one side of the bead of the tire. Then you're replacing your tube. Then you're pumping it up either with your hand pump or your CO2 cartridge. And if you get another flat and you lose your tube, then we have patches to patch up the appropriate. And then if you have to make a quick adjustment, like a derailleur adjustment, sometimes your gears aren't shifting right, or maybe you just got the bike back from the shop or just built it, we got to tweak minor things. I got to raise my saddle, slide my saddle forward, little things like that. That's what that Multitool is good for. Or if you're riding with buddies and friends, at least somebody has some tools that you can go to. You'll be that guy to save the day. So here, Bike Teacher, I do teach classes or courses anywhere from a 4-hour beginner class all the way up to a 40-hour or 70-hour for those of you who think you still be a beginner or just an enthusiast or someone who's looking to work at a bike shop as a mechanic. So you can get a certification, a completion of all your hours. And you can also bring in special projects. We can customize classes constantly. We can also accommodate weird schedules. You know, you may have work and school, and you may can come in on certain days of the week or late night on the weekend or something like that. Not too late. If you like what's going on here, you can go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Even comment, tell me what you like, what you don't like. Tell me what you want to see, what you want to get into and break into. Don't forget to subscribe if you like what you see. Thanks.